So basically, for a while, those of us viewers who have been watching it could tell that the chemistry was a bit off between Claudia and Al. We could kind of see that. And this was even before Funky Dineva had left. Then Funky Dineva leaves, Armand joins. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying getting used to Armand as the new co-host, etc. Then a week ago, or now it's a week and a half ago, it was Al's birthday, and Armand does a roast. In the roast, some people, excuse me, some people felt he went a little too far. Now, I'm not going to replay the roast, but they do a really good job on Mims' Make It Make Sense video, as well as Really BTV, talking, going through it. The gist of it is Armand throws a number of different digs that Tasha K later went in to say that basically um, Claudia was feeding Armand drama and issues and blah, blah, blah to create more drama on the show. Tasha K also came in and said that Claudia confided in her. Nobody confides in Tasha K, first of all. If you tell Tasha K something, it's because you want the world to know. I think we can all agree with that. And she basically says that Claudia talks about how she does not like working with Al and Funky and that she's tired of dealing with those guys and she's over them. The end result was that after the roast, Al calls up his boy Funky Dineva, and it happens to be while Funky is on air on his own YouTube channel. And basically, he says, "Listen, you need to listen. Take a look. You need to watch the show." And Funky is like, "I'm on the air." He said, "I don't give a fuck. I don't give a care. Watch it, and you need to see what happened." He was livid, and so now, according to Really BTV, part of the issue is Al is upset. Al wants an investigation done into the way he's being treated. That behind the scenes, Fox Soul is on a hiatus. We don't know if it's for a week. We don't know if it's for 2 weeks or what have you. But to investigate what happened, both whether or not Armand stepped outside of, I guess, the parameters of what should have been appropriate in that roast, and whether they can continue. So I want to see in the chat. I want to see if you were one of those coworkers. I don't, whether you are Claudia, I'm gonna just say Claudia or Al, right? Because those are the two who have been there the longest. If after this hiatus they said, yes, you can come back, we're gonna proceed, would you even want to? Would you even want to? So the topic that was thrown out there was something called hostile work environment. Somebody said, I'd never watched Fox Soul before. Um, Somebody said, Al is so happy. I'm sure Fox Soul will do anything to avoid a lawsuit. It's a shame. So here's the thing. I'm going to break down for you real briefly what hostile work environment is. And then I want to see in the chat. Yep, some people are saying, nope, they don't even want to come back. Do you think the show is salvageable? So what a hostile work environment is basically an environment where insults, derogatory behavior, and so forth are so pervasive that it impacts your ability to do your job and continue working. Yeah, you can sue, but you can also get blackballed. So in this situation, now, multiple people who could claim hostile work environment here. Al could claim it based on the way he feels that he's been treated through that roast and other things. And Claudia, in the text messages that Claudia shared with Tasha, Claudia talked about being yelled at and screaming and embarrassing her in meetings and stuff like that, right? So if either the whoever it is that wants to claim that, what happens is actually what we're seeing right now. Once you claim hostile work environment, the job has to institute an investigation. And they got to separate y'all. That's what we got here. They're on hiatus for 2 weeks because legally, you cannot force somebody to keep going to work every day with somebody who may be creating a hostile environment. So, first, you have to do the investigation. Then, you have to come to a finding, and you must notify everybody involved of the finding. Finding can only be one of two things. Yes, we have a hostile work environment, and this is the culprit, or these are the culprits. So they can come back and say, yes, we have one. Al, you caused it, and Claudia, you caused it too. Y'all two get away from each other. Or they could say, no, we don't have one. Or they could say, yes, we have one, and maybe it's just caused by one of the two. I'm the only reason I'm not referencing Armand. Oh, thank you so much, Measured Man. Somebody said, absolutely too far. As an HREO specialist, and we are doing a case study on this, it was too far. He's referring to Armand Wiggins' statement. And even adding Armand in there, in this, and feel free to drop more comments in the chat below as an HR specialist. What do you think would be the result of a hostile work environment investigation involving these three? Again, it could be found that Armand. The reason I don't believe that Armand would be a sole culprit here, he's too new. He's simply too new. Also, when you're looking at whether something's a hostile environment, one of the other pieces of evidence that you must investigate, look at, and point to is what are the histories of these workers in the industry. Now, Al, I don't really know much about him. I don't know what he's done beforehand. But if you listen to Mims's breakdown, Mims talks about how Claudia has had a difficult history at every job she's ever had that we're aware of in the industry. We'll start with Real Housewives, right? So at first I thought, well, maybe she just has difficulty working with men, right? The male jobs that she's had that and it's kind of they're kind of in order, but not, is she did the foxhole with Jamie Foxx. I really like that. I love their chemistry at first, but that one did not work out. There was supposed to be some strife. She and Jamie did not get along. Jamie also does a lot of cocaine, so I really was like, I don't know, that could be his fault. Who knows? And then secondly, she had a show with Vanessa Mitchell, who's another, he's a comedian, he's a guy. That one didn't go too well. I don't know about their chemistry there. Third, she had Ricky Smiley. That one got real ugly. That one got real ugly. Fourth, she had one with a guy named Rudy Rush. I'm from Dallas. It was the morning show there. I loved it. And then it started getting weird. Like, Rudy's a comedian and Rudy would say certain things, and then she would be so angry with, like, it was the same kind of, what is it, tension that I now see with her that we've seen for months with her and Al, right? So that was Rudy Rush. So what is that? Four? That's four different ones. And then we've got Real Houses of Atlanta. I loved her on that. She had really good comebacks, especially when she had some back and forth with Nene. I love that. But again, that didn't work there either. I say that to say, somebody said those comments, let me say, those comments Claudia made on live, especially, were damaging from an HR perspective. Agreed. So what my point here is, if I were representing Armand or Al in a hostile work environment claim, and I'm trying to basically say my client is not the one creating the hostile environment, it is this other person. What I would point to is, and they had a history. Apparently, she also had some issues with Vivica Fox as well as Lisa Ray, right? So with all of those issues, then that means Foxhole has been aware of other issues. And in fact, it does not matter that it's entertainment. You still can't create those environments. So I actually, when I thought about this, and I want to hear your thoughts, it made me think a lot about Amanda Seales. I love Amanda Seales' work. I think her work is very important. I like Claudia's work in that she really does speak up for Black women. She speaks up and she gives that perspective and so forth. But Amanda Seales can't work with other people. She cannot work with other humans. It has to be her show. We saw her on The Real. It was a good, like, I thought that was going to be a good, like, situation for her. She can't get along with nobody. We've seen her on Insecure. She can't get along with nobody. She cannot get along. She's amazing at her job. Claudia is amazing at her job. But my thought is, if the difficulty is working with other humans, they just need a show that's their show. So one of the solutions for a hostile work environment situation here is to give Claudia her own show. But what you can't do is, once you find or determine that this is the creator of it, you can't punish the victim. That's what happened in my situation at my law firm, right? Because the person that was creating a hostile environment was a partner. So they were like, we don't get rid of this associate. We want to keep the partner. The partner is bringing in more money. But legally, you cannot do that. That is literally what's called retaliation. So I'm giving you an example of, because the most important thing is I want you to understand a hostile work environment. And most importantly, I want you to understand the number one mistake that Black employees, yes, you, if you're watching and you're Black, I'm talking to you, that we all make when we're in these environments, is we fail to exercise one of our best options, which is workman's comp. Many people don't realize that workman's comp covers stress leave.